Everyone wants more money, but most of us weren't taught how to create an abundant life. That's where the law of attraction, manifesting success stories show comes in. If you are ready to have more money, create more freedom, and experience more fun, turn the volume up. It's time to learn how to create the prosperity and life you have been dreaming of. Here's your host, Cassie Parks.
Hello and welcome to this interview. I am your host, Cassie Parks, and I am back with Paulie Rojas for her 11th interview in her series. It is January of 2020, so just as you're listening to those for some reference. So welcome, Paulie.
Hello, Cassie. I'm so happy to be back for the 11th time.
Me too.
11 times. Yeah.
11 times. Oh my gosh. And I just had like goosebumps of thinking you when you're saying that like on an interview, like, I don't know, like Good Morning America or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Letterman, but I guess now it's like Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy
Yes.
Fallon. Like,
yes.
You were here 2 years ago. Remember when you were here the first time? Now it's your third time. You're like, you become a veteran.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Very cool. All right. Well, tell us what's awesome.
So many things. Well, you just told me that my 2-year anniversary of the Enchanted Circle is happening.
Yes.
And what's awesome is it doesn't feel like it's been 2 years. It feels like it's been a few months, like not even a year.
Yeah.
So I think what that means is, I know we always talk about when is it going to happen, and like timing and, oh my God, it's taking so long. But the fact that 2 years have gone by so quickly gives me the feeling that time really doesn't matter.
Yes.
If it happens, it's going to happen. And the process has been super fun to see how everything's been unfolding.
Oh, yay. That's awesome. And would you say that it's, like once you sort of stopped, because this is a conversation we definitely had in one of your earlier interviews and early coaching, was like to stop doing all the things and to stop doing the huge list and all that. And so would you say that like being more in the process and having fun makes it not feel like it's taking forever?
No. And in fact, I feel like it hurried the process. Like, I think if I had not done what you told me to do, which is to script my future self, to be focused on one thing and not a million things, to not be running around like a chicken with its head cut off, that could have taken 10 years or longer.
Yeah.
But because we're so focused and single-minded and our intention is only on the future self, I think it happened infinitely quicker.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. I feel like I've grown more the past 2 years than I have my entire life before that. Like, I think it was it's taken 2 years to become the person that I'm happy to be and happy to grow into. And that is just that's the biggest reward, because I never thought I would be able to say that I like who I am, or that I can see where I'm going and that I'm in control of it. So it's really cool. And I really owe it all to you, Cassie.
Well, you are a great student. So as much as you owe to me as I owe to you, because a teacher is nothing without a student, right? Like there's no one to learn or implement or grow. And
Yeah. Well, I think, we found each other because I've had so many teachers. I'm the constant seeker of like answers outside of myself. But it wasn't until with you that you showed me that what I'm capable of doing. And that actually, like, you can do the teachings and you can give the teachings, but it's up to me to do it, or to take it to the next level with your teachings. Does that make sense? Like, I've had so many teachers and I haven't been this successful in my life because we weren't aligned. And I think you and I are very much aligned, and the people that you bring into the Enchanted Circle are also a reflection of that.
That is such a good point, because somebody could be literally teaching you. I mean, there's no right. We talk about that a lot, but like quote unquote, the right steps, right? But if they're not aligned with who you, so for me, it's like, your future self is what makes this magic, is that I get to know her and I see her. And so it's easy to coach and easy to do that. And I love that you brought up that point, because it's true. Like, there can be a lot of teachers, but if there's not that alignment, it doesn't work. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's maybe the easiest analogy is like I don't know if when you hear like, oh, he's an acting teacher, oh, it's because he's a failed actor, right?
Right. Yeah.
And there's a lot of that, and it's
Mhm.
not all of them are like that, but many are quote unquote failed actors.
Right.
And so there's this agenda that like, oh, they have failed at something, or they, you know, they need to make money somehow. But with you, it's like total detachment, because you know what you are. Let's see if I can say this right, but you see the future self, and that's all you need to do is you're only working with people that are willing to go there with you, and if not, that's on them. Like, you're not doing this for the money, you're not doing this for anything other than you can help people's lives make their lives better if they decide to take that route, that they can take be the best, have the best, all of that.
Yes. I love that. It's so
Yeah.
true. And that's where the magic happens, right? Is that it is for you, all of you, really. Like, you can see it and you can step into it, or you cannot. Yeah.
Right. But you, Cassie, are living your future, like your own. You're just doing your job, and your job is to take care of yourself and who you want to be, which is this amazing, the best law of attraction coach, right? That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, and it's so true. I just love.
Yeah.
I love that. So fun. So how does it? I'm just like, yes, that's what I always wanted, right? Like, I'm living a moment, so I'm like taking it back a little more than normal, because it's like that's what I wanted, right? I set out to be the coach who didn't need to, right? I do it because it's who I am and it's what I love. And without it, like, a part of me is missing. The same as with you with acting, right? It's just who I am. And so living it is natural and easy. And that's what I want to be known for. And here we are.
Yeah. And that is your legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Of course. I love it. So you, because it's your 2-year anniversary in a couple weeks, which we'll talk about how special it is, where you'll probably be on your actual anniversary. But 2 years in the Enchanted Circle, which means you now have 5-year membership. So you have 3 more. It's like buy 2, get 3 free.
What a deal.
I know, right? Yeah. So talk a little bit about, and this is fun, it's the first person I get to ask this, like, what does that sort of mean to you, knowing like, oh, now I have 3 years, like I have all the time I need, or what does that mean to you?
Oh, well, I love the number 3 because 3rd time's charm.
Yes.
It's very fitting. It's also very fitting that we work with our future selves 5 years out. So we have the 5 years with you.
Yes.
It also means like, God, what am I going to be talking about like in 5 years? Like, if this is where I'm at in 2 years, I can't even begin to imagine where I'll be in 5 years, with the power of belief in myself that you've honed with me, you know? So I think, God, in 3 years, it's going to be, I have no idea, but I know it's going to be unbelievable. And I'll probably be somewhere that I never expected it to be. It'll be better than what I expected it to be. And I'll still be, coming on the calls, hopefully from like, maybe like the Democratic Republic of the Congo or something, I'll be somewhere, or Somalia, being able to report from these places that I want to, help with, or not help with, but contribute to.
Yeah, support and do you, right? Because that's part of who you are. And I just had this like amazing vision of like, of course she'll come there. And this is all part of, right? It's all part of who you are, and sharing even more of that with the world, right?
Yeah. And to be able to say like, I've been doing these calls for 5 years. Like, look at, if I could do it, you could do it too. You can do anything.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. that gets me just like even more excited.
Yeah.
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 Which is so fun. Like that really is. And you're really stepping into that in a whole new level, I think, is when this moment is magic and you're like excited for the future because you know it's going to be even more magic. You're not
Mhm.
waiting on something anymore. Like you're not
Right.
waiting for like, oh, I'll be happy then. It's like
Mhm.
today is magic and happy, and then is
Mhm.
going to be even more magic and happy.
Right. And the possibility of not having a like the unknown is actually exciting now because like who like I don't know where I'm gonna be, but I do trust it's gonna be better than I could have ever imagined. And like you've helped me so much to just that muscle is like, oh, it doesn't matter, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be better. You know, it's
Yes.
this it's I just have it instilled in me so deeply now. So it's a nice feeling to wake up in the morning knowing that no matter what, like it's probably gonna be better. It's kind of, I guess now, a bit of a mantra, like it's going to be better, don't worry, it's going to be better than you thought.
Oh, yes. I love that. Versus,
Yeah.
do you remember what you would wake up like right before you joined the Enchanted Circle thinking?
Yeah, it was like shit. Oh, sorry, I said
That's okay.
sorry, that was like me. Like
I
it
love
would
it.
be
I
like,
love the truth.
yeah, it would just be like, oh man, oh no, like it just kind of the feeling of like, ugh, um all right, well, let's see what happens, or
Mm,
like just not excited,
yeah.
almost like a plea, like please be gentle today, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like have mercy on me, which is such an not awful, but it's a heavy place to start off the day, like,
Yeah.
and so many of us have started that way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
um just a hopeful feeling,
Yeah.
and not hopeful in the sense that like, oh, there's hope in the world, but like hoping it won't be bad
Yes.
versus like knowing it's great and it's magic.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
oh my
And
gosh.
I've definitely had to train myself, like every single morning, no matter what, I go, yes, when I wake up. I just
Yes.
go, woo, like
I,
woo, you know.
uh-huh.
And I think it's part of some of your exercises. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, when the happy dance when you get money.
Mm-hmm.
What's your happy dance? How like when a guy, you know, a touchdown scored and they do have
Yeah.
like, what's your happy dance? And then, you know, tune into that every now and
Yes.
again throughout the day. So I've done that so much now in two
Mm-hmm.
years that like it's just natural now to wake up
Yay.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Uh,
that's coming from, you know, yeah, like
yeah.
deep depression and anxiety and all that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's just a blessing to A, that I was always in control of that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that B, it's not that way anymore. It's good now.
Yay.
Yeah.
And it's just going to get better.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when you
Mhm.
wake up like that, like you just start expecting it and it starts
Mhm.
happening and happening.
Mhm. Yeah. And I'm more aware of like, oh, see, like when good things do happen, like, see, I told you, see, you know, constantly looking for
Mm-hmm.
the affirmation that good things are always happening. And it starts
Yes.
with, you know, even, you know, the penny on the floor, things like that.
It
They
does.
get magnified. Yeah.
Yeah, magnified and magnified. And speaking of, I
Mhm.
think that's the perfect segue, like good things happening. So
Mhm.
you and your boyfriend had traveled to Haiti. Is that a
Mhm.
year ago?
Yeah, almost a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you have a video that is really
Mhm.
taken off. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was completely unexpected, but because of that video, now we have a purpose when we travel.
Hmm.
So we went to Haiti and we almost didn't go to Haiti because it was a stage 4 out of 4 warning. Don't go. You'll be kidnapped and dismembered and all that stuff, right?
Right.
And so we went anyway, and it turned out to be one of the best experiences because of the people, because it was beautiful, because it was not what the media was saying at all.
Hmm.
And so um my boyfriend, he just made a video about it, like, and it's called, is it safe to travel to Haiti? And obviously
Hmm.
the answer is yes, it's safe.
Yes.
But yes, it is. And so that was just like, you know, is it just a simple intention? It's like, oh, this is Haiti, and we loved it. And
Hmm.
it blew up and it has more views than like we expected it to. And what was even more touching were the comments that we didn't expect about, thank you for showing Haiti for what it really is. And yes, there's bad parts, but look at the people, look at, we're great, you know, lots of the conversation like that started happening. And then they've been saying that, you know, please come back. We want to show you more parts about Haiti. Like the invites keep coming in. And so we were like, all right, we got to go back to Haiti.
Yes.
And yeah, and make a second video about Haiti. And so what's really cool about this is that similar to how you live your life, Cassie, like you are focused on your future self and who you are, right? And that's why you help people like everybody that you help. And I think because I've been so focused on my future self, the byproduct of that is that people around me are also shifting, right?
Yes.
Because my boyfriend is now all in. Like this is what he's meant to be doing. And he's fun employed in the sense that he can go back to working to the network, but he's
That's
not
awesome.
he's choosing not to do it because it's not what he wants to do. And there's this like this fire in him that this is, we got to do this. We got to do this. And it's really it's so cool to see that, because I didn't have to do anything other than focus on me.
Yeah.
And my
And be your future
experience
self, right?
and be my future self. So then here he is, you know, doing the same exact thing, and I get to go along for the ride and be part of this transformation too. So it's really, stay tuned. I'm really, really excited about it.
Oh, that's amazing. All right. So tell people, how do they find these videos?
Oh, well, you can find these videos. You can subscribe to his channel on YouTube. He's the one that edits videos. So his name is Luke Heater, but his alias or his subscription is, oh, actually, it is Luke Heater. It used to be Hook Leader, like changing.
That's funny.
Yeah. So it's Luke Heater on YouTube, Luke, and then Heater, like the thing that makes it, you know, heat. Heater. Yeah, Luke Heater. And you'll see all our travels, and we'll continue to be making videos about how beautiful these untraveled territories are.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And you can just feel the energy of like, this is what he's done. And you have another one that came, it was your first one that he did was from Lebanon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I just saw the beginning because I haven't had a moment, and I actually want to do it in a way that really like honors his future self, and
Totally,
like, you know,
yeah.
and so I want to sit
I knew you
down
were
in
gonna
front
say
of the
that,
TV.
yeah.
But like just the first couple of minutes, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Like the energy of this is amazing. And all of it is just like wonderful.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear you say that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So check it out. Especially if you're somebody listening and you want to like go to these places that there's not travel brochures for, right? I think that's the best way to say it, right? You're not going to walk in and it's not going to be on the thing, but that, you know, you want to go because you want a different experience and you want to see amazing people in amazing places.
Yeah. And if you want to like amp up your faith in people, those are the places to go to, is the ones that aren't you know, that you don't typically think of going to on your honeymoon, you know? So yeah.
I love that. That's amazing. Yay. Cool. All right. And so what else is awesome is I know that your role, and I can't wait till like these come out and somebody's listening like to this, they find it like 5 years from now, you know, when all these major things are happening, like they've seen you you know, like on the big screen and stuff, because your like your role of a lifetime is happening, right? You can see all the evidence that it's coming together.
Yeah, it's such a funny thing because it's like, of course, you know,
right?
But it seemed so impossible, and so to be able to say, wow, it's actually really happening, and like in the craziest way, it like is falling on my lap. And it's what I've wanted most my entire life. So it's such a privilege to be experiencing it. and to be able to like, you've been part of the journey, Cassie, to tell you like as it's happening, and to be
Yeah.
able to say it's happened. Like I'm, we script these things like as if they're in the present moment, right?
Right.
But now I'm actually telling it to you in the present moment. It's like
Yes.
it blows my mind, but then it doesn't. It's a funny thing.
It
But
is a
yeah.
funny thing, right? That is, I think that's one of the coolest things about creation, like in manifesting and using the law of attraction. When we find that momentum and we find the way that it works for us, right? Is that we're like totally blown away, because in some ways it's like we always wanted it, but I think
Yeah.
until we start to like move along the journey that works for us, there's always a little piece that's like, is this possible?
Right.
Yeah.
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 So when we get there, go ahead.
No. It's just funny because like you work with the feeling, like what feeling do you want to activate, right?
Yeah.
And so as you're coaching us, I always love it when you're like, okay, feel that feeling now. So feel like the ecstatic feeling. What does it feel like? And I have my my ecstatic
Yeah.
moment. And so and then when what I scripted actually happens, like it's a different reaction because I already lived the ecstatic part of it, and now it's like,
Yes.
all right, on to business. Like it's like I already lived it, and so now
Yes.
when it's physically manifesting, it's like, well, yeah, of course, it's like this calm, like, well, yeah, I mean, it's already happened. So it's like a
Yes.
different receiving of
Yes.
the moment. I don't know if I explained it right, but it's like it means that the process of it, finding and activating the feeling, was the fun part because you got to do
Yes.
that. And then when it actually happens, it's like, well, yeah, of course it did.
Yes.
But the fun was in like the creation of it, and then you receive it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tell me if you think this. I think you get
Yeah.
to receive it on a whole, like you receive it on a whole different level because you've already felt that ecstatic.
Oh yeah, you receive it. This was my experience. Is you feel deserving of it,
Yeah.
because if I hadn't done the work and it came to me, I'd been like, oh no, like, oh, maybe I, what do I do with this? Like what? Like there's this like the rug has been pulled out from underneath you, and there's like a settling, like gotta accept. I don't know. There's more work to be done because I hadn't practiced it happening to me. And
Yes.
now when I receive it, I feel more deserving. It doesn't mean I feel totally deserving, but I'm on my way. Um,
Yes.
of feeling the deservingness and also the groundedness of it.
Yes.
So that's why it's important to like see it, and feel it and taste and touch and all the things that we do together,
Yeah.
um, to prepare you for the receiving of it.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I just love the way the words you're putting around it, because it's so true. It is preparing you for the receiving, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it had happened to me, then I would have been, maybe I would mess it up because I I don't know what to do with it because I hadn't practiced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And seeing this role, because it doesn't like it's what you wanted, right? And literally like what you wanted is happening, only better, I'm going to say.
Only so much better. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in the future when we can, but it's so like as I was listening to you describe it to me before we got on this call, um it was so it was just like the words, and then you said it like it's better because it's like it gets to be fully you and fully your dream role, and all these things coming together in these amazing ways.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like better. And I forgot what I was going to say before that. Oh, 2 years ago, right? If this had landed in your lap, when you
Yeah,
say like,
yeah.
I might have messed it up, will you talk a little bit about that?
I could have gotten like needy and desperate, and like I would have gripped it to exhaustion. Like I could have suffocated the opportunity because I was insecure and like not my future self. So my future self is showing up now because I'm calm. I trust that everything is, the timing of it is perfect. I don't have I'm not getting in the way, right? I'm just this open vessel that knows it's coming, and I'm, my future self knows what to do, and knows to be gracious, knows like when inspiration is saying, yeah, ask this question now, or don't ask it because the answer is coming, and then it, so my neurosis doesn't get in the way. It's more like I've prepared for this, so I can trust and let go.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, and
I
relax.
love that. And relax.
Just relax.
Yeah.
Most importantly, just relax.
Yes.
Yeah.
And enjoy, right?
Oh yes, of
So
course. Yeah.
yeah,
Of course.
like now I feel like, and because even as an actor, I feel like actors especially have to sort of, if they're using LOA, learn this patience, because
Yes.
almost like it just isn't set up. Like you don't audition today and the movie comes out tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Right.
So like it takes at least a year probably from when you audition to like when the red carpet is. And so there is waiting and being patient and a process to it. I forgot where I was going with that question. It's just about, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I think where we were going was like what happens in the waiting also, because that's always like a big thing for me, is like as it's, I'm not they're not calling action yet, right? But it is unfolding. So then like what happens at, like again, as it's being created. And you said this to me was well, instead of waiting, go back to preparing to be the best. Right. So it's like I could be freaking out like, oh, are they going to call me tomorrow? They're going to call me in a year. But instead it's okay, well, what I do have control over is becoming the best. So it's like going back to ballet, going back to singing, going back to whatever it is, like put my focus in that, and everything else like it is actually being taken care of. I don't need to be in the way of anything. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And by doing that and preparing in the ways that you're preparing to be the best, you're actually helping the other side of the process along, because energetically, like you're creating that pull, like, because it has to be ready when you're ready. Like when you hit that, like, we can always improve, but there is like a magic moment, where, like you're ready. Right. And so when you get to that moment, all that stuff has to be there. And as you just get ready, then all of that stuff will get pulled along with more ease.
Right. Yeah. I just had this image, like if I was worried and they were like, and then I got the call and they're like, great, we're ready to go. Can you do the triple pirouette? And then I'd be like, no. And they're like, oh, well, you got to do it. Instead, like, I'm preparing to do the triple pirouette with grace,
Yes.
And then eventually I get the call. I'll be like, so you ready to go? Yeah, I got my triple pirouette ready to go. So it's like I'm avoiding a potentially catastrophic moment of not being prepared when I get the call. Instead, I'll go be prepared, and then the call will come.
Yes. And what's the difference? Because prepared, I want to share with our listeners, like prepared is really about it's action in this sense, but it's really about the beingness, right? Versus like trying to make something happen in the past.
Right. One of my acting teachers told me that what was it that he said? It was preparation. When you're it's just that, like, the more we prepare, the more relaxed you are, right? So if I just prepare, when it comes time to, when it's like, lights are on me and eyes are on me, and like that's when I could get really nervous. At least I've prepared so I can be more relaxed. I think that's the beauty of the preparation, is to be relaxed. It gives you relaxation and then confidence and all that good stuff.
Oh, yes. And that goes back to sort of that receiving. Like you have prepared yourself to fully receive that moment, versus when we're worried and, oh my gosh, we're not in receiving mode because we're like frantic. We can't, there's not enough space open in a way to like fully take all that in.
Yeah. And if you think about it, like frantic energy is repelling.
Yes.
Like if you're frantic, you're like, oh, stay away. I see someone frantic on the subway in New York. I'm like, okay, move to the next car, no way. But you see like someone calm reading, just, they have a calm energy about them. I'll go sit next to them because I'm in good company,
Yes.
I feel like the energy is really nice and soothing. So.
Absolutely. I love it. Anything else awesome that you want to share today?
I think I'm just so grateful that I found you 2 freaking years ago. No, I think it was
Right?
longer because I was listening to the podcast, but from the moment that I said yes to the Enchanted Circle,
Mhm.
I'm so grateful. I could not have imagined such progress, knowing who I was 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I love it. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yay. Very cool. Any words of advice or things on your heart that you just want to share today?
Oh gosh, I think that I think, yeah, I maybe I've said this before, but you really are meant to have it all. I think, and you've said it too, like the Rumi quote, like what you seek
Mhm.
is seeking you.
Yeah,
Yeah, the more we can believe that and know it and trust it, like the more we can act in the way that will attract it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, tell people how they can follow you or connect with you if they want
Oh,
to.
yes. Well, I think the best way is through my Instagram, which the handle is Paulie, like my name, Paulie _ Golightly, like Holly Golightly from Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you, Polly, so much for sharing this moment in our journey. It really is our journey
Our
together.
journey. It is our journey.
Yes,
Yes.
our journey with everyone. I'm so excited, and thank you all for listening. Make sure to come back and check out what else is awesome in Polly's life next time.
Thank you for joining us on the Law of Attraction Manifesting Success Stories show. To learn how to attract more money into your life, go to your favorite book retailer and order Cassie's book, Manifest $10,000.